Even though it's only been since Saturday. I saw you Saturday.
Well, no, I mean reunite on the show.
Oh, yes. Hello, guys. We've been having our people come.
Yeah, our people come. Our influential mothers of motherhood. So we had my mom the first time, Johnny Sue. And then we had Brianna last episode. So hopefully in the future we'll be able to do more, and maybe like even where it's like us and somebody else that we can, you know, bring into the podcast, like, and interview them with us, like all three of us together.
Are you talking about a threesome?
Lord, is that? I know. Actually, I kind of sounded like I was talking about it. I was like,
you were like, we could bring somebody else in. I'm like,
someone else in, but just for the day.
This is a little bit more than that. I just signed up for that. Like, warn me first.
Take me to dinner.
This is your warning. Yeah, take me to dinner first.
I would be the one. Yeah. I'd be the one that's like, you know,
just like, hey,
you know, just for fun.
Just like maybe in and out, like, you know, dude, in sign language. This is one night stand.
Oh my God.
I want to teach like Jed so bad. Yeah, one night stand.
Lord, I know. I'm going to see him do that in high school and be like, I know what you're saying.
You're like, Aunt B, she told me.
I know,
one
sir.
Night stand.
I know. Actually, speaking of Jed, so in this episode, we're going to talk about all things back to school because our kiddos just went back to school a couple weeks ago. And Jed will have his meeting with Any Baby Can, which is who he receives services from, and the school district because he will be going to school after Christmas break, girl. Yay! I am so...
Thank gosh. He's going to love it. I mean, he might get in trouble a little bit because he's a little wild.
He is. Well, let's just say it. He's kind of mean, but it's his space.
Yeah, well, because he can't tell you, like, please back out of my space.
Right.
Yeah.
But sometimes he can just be mean. Like, this past weekend, he just straight up pushed Georgia, and I was like...
Oh,
I felt so
Saturday,
bad. I was like, it wasn't even her fault. She defended her, and I'm like, good, rightfully so.
And she's the one who got spanked.
I know. I'm like, no, wait. She's defending herself. I'm like...
straight up. She was like, no thank you. I was like, oh.
But
I was like, Jed was the instigator.
Because you gotta know the whole picture. And that's, so it's funny, like, too, even like that situation I was thinking about, because Cam went to middle school this year. And I think he feels like I'm being a little bit of like a helicopter mom. Like I'm driving him to the bus stop because it's further from our home. I'm picking him up from the bus stop because it's further from our home.
Yeah. Well, just to be safe, girl. People are wild and drive reckless.
Right. Well, not only that, but like the kids there. Like to me, Camden still looks like a baby.
Yeah.
He does.
He's your baby.
He's my baby. So I'm like, honestly, I see some of the girls, the way they dress, and I'm like, oh my God, like you, okay. And then some of the boys, the way they are, and I know what they're doing at those buses. And I'm like, you know what? I'm not your mom or dad. I don't care. But what I do care about is me and mine and my household. Yeah. And that's not how, Camden knows that's not how we roll here. But I have told Camden, if someone picks on you, you defend yourself. And Camden's, he literally just turned 11 and he is my height. He weighs about my weight too. The last time we went to the doctors, he was 178 pounds. So he is
he's already almost a whole dude.
He's almost a whole dude. And
but he still acts like a baby. Like it's hard to explain, but he's just so like, okay, mom. Like whenever you're calling him out earlier, okay, hold up. Her mom picked up her son from the bus stop. And this fool runs like lightning when he walks through the front door. Mm-hmm. And we're like, what the fuck? And then she catches sight of his shorts and she was like, oh, heck no. That's why he ran, is because he's not wearing all the brand new school clothes I just bought him. He's wearing old stuff, like old basketball shorts and yada, yada.
I'm like, do other moms have this problem? Because this is what gets me mad, is I spend so much money on school clothes because, and it's funny because earlier too, we were feeding our kids after school, both single moms, both trying to make sure all the kiddos eat. We are both trying to feed each other. And so the kids are like complaining about, I don't want lemonade and I want water and I want blah, blah. And you're like literally losing your shit. And you're like, when I was growing up, and I was like, ooh, girl, tell him. But it's true because
you didn't have you were there to be seen, not heard, basically.
Right.
I mean, my parents definitely let us. Yeah, but my parents definitely let us talk, and have a say so. But the whole like, what was for dinner was for dinner. Like you either ate it or you didn't. And like my kids just right when food that they choose hits the table, they're actually got other things I was thinking. I'm like, no, like, that's so rude.
Well, and that's what I'm saying. Like, when you're like, you guys don't even know how good you have it. That's how I feel about Cam with the school clothes, because we got very minimal school clothes. A lot of it was like, maybe we got like 2 or 3 pairs of new jeans, like 2 or 3 new tops. And if we got extra, it was like from Goodwill or thrift stores or like Plato's Closet, like places. My mom used to take us to Plato's Closet when they had those old school fill up the bag for $10 day.
Oh yeah.
And she'd be military rolling that shit and like stuffing. Bitch, one time I watched her roll up a whole fucking backpack she found and stuff that bitch in there, like, tight.
I didn't know that they did that.
I don't know if they still do, but Plato's Closet used to do it back in the day, and we would go, and she'd be like, as much clothes as you can possibly get, you will get today. And we were like, okay, like, we already knew, and it was $10. And that included fucking shoes back then, but we were to not get shoes from there. Because she was like, it'll take up your whole bag. You will, if you can find a backpack or a book bag that you find, and I can make it fit, fine. But shirts, pants, shorts, all that's priority. Bras, shit like that. But I'm like, Cam, I've brought you so much. I mean, I spent a ridiculous amount on school clothes, honestly. But it's because I always have that fear that he's going to get, like, picked on. Or, like, I just don't want him. He is a bigger, like you said, he's like a gentle giant. Mentally, he's barely 11. Physically, he passes for 14, 13.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. So you're trying to dress him appropriately.
Right.
With something not skin tight, it hangs just right.
Like, exactly. So in that he's in the men's section that costs more money. So when I see him in these old, tattered basketball shorts and a hoodie,
here to play with, like, outside at the land,
I want to fucking rip one. I'm like,
I know, you went to the stairs, Cam! And she had just watched me lose my shit, and now she is. Because she's like, it's okay, Brittany, blah, blah. And then he comes in, actually, now I'm pissed.
Yeah, I'm like, what the fuck, bro? You're just gonna... And even, too, like, this past weekend, Cam and one of our good friends, her son, they had their birthdays together. So we all got together, and one of our good friends, Brianna, another Brianna, she brought her oldest kiddos, because he's a few years older than Cam, a bag of clothes, and she was pulling out shit with tags on it. I was like, girl, that's got tags. You sure you want to give it away? And Zane, it's ugly. I'm like, it's new. Sir, I don't care what you think it is.
I was like, dude, I was grateful whenever my older sister would grow out of something that I really liked, because I was like, that bitch is mine now. I'm like, we love hand-me-downs. I know. I was like, hey, your titties are too big for that. I don't have any. Give me that.
Well,
Give me
even
that.
too, like, as adults.
Oh, dude, that's all my clothes. Like this.
Same.
It says, if not now, then when? Literally got it yesterday.
Oh, yeah. For free. I know. I saw that. I gave her a Halara dress. She was like, what's a Halara dress? I was like, it was like the TikTok dress. You're like,
yeah.
I don't know the fuck. It didn't fit right on my body. And I saw you wore it the other. I was like, damn. It looked good
liked
on
it.
you.
I wore it at the Hawaii
Oh, you did?
Hawaiian
it looked good on
thing.
you. I can't remember where I saw you wearing it, but I was like, damn, I'm glad I gave it to you. Brand new.
Thank you. I know. I was just like, what? And she was like, it's so expensive. It's like $75. I was like, why would you buy that?
I got a coupon for it.
Oh, I was just like,
I got a coupon.
Shit.
It was like buy one, get one fucking 75% off. So I got a green one, which fit beautifully. Girl math. It's basically free.
It's like, if I add one more thing to the cart, I get free shipping. I was like, just pay for the fucking shipping. Well, no, because then I get a free item. I'm like, it's not free if you're paying $6.
$5.99 shipping, $13 shirt. I'm gonna go with the $13 shirt that gets me the free
Girl
shipping.
math.
Girl
I'm like,
math.
oh my god.
So I don't know. Back to school has been interesting so far for Cam. One, I think he truly believes that I'm hovering when I just want him to have my whole thing about when they start to go into this preteen ages, I want you to have more freedom, but that means I want more trust between us, and that means you will have more responsibility.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, dude, just be cool about shit. Tell me about shit. Don't hide things from me.
Because I'm the one here for you. It's
yes.
either to me or to some random stranger, and I don't want that.
No.
Or to your little friends at school.
Yeah, friends, a girlfriend, or like even worse. I mean, so me and Camden's dad, we did sit down with him, and it was actually like after all that shit happened in y'all's neighborhood.
Oh yeah.
With like the drive-by and shit. And we were like, I showed him, I was like, bro, this kid was a teenager. And he was like, he's like, that is only like a few years older than Cam. We got to have a conversation with him. So we like had dinner, sat him down, and we like basically told him like, if you don't come to us, you will think that other people will have your back, and they don't. You'll start to get into things where it'll introduce drugs, it'll introduce sex, it'll introduce a lot of drinking and driving. Whereas if you're like truly curious, but you know, like, and we told them too, we were like, unfortunately, not every kid at home has this, and we're not even fucking together. We've been divorced for 7 years, but we're still Team Cam. So we're like, we love you, and if you feel like there's something you're really curious about or someone's offered something to you, please don't take it. It could literally mean your life.
Yeah, you could die. And then, well, that's what I was telling Landon too. I was like, you have to be careful what you do, what you take, things like that. I was like, dude, even on your little short walk from the school to my car, where I pick them up at their school every day, I was like, just even you crossing the street without looking both ways, I was like, if something were to happen to you, I was like, y'all don't understand. I was like, I would not survive. Like, I would be stripped. Like, I was like, so.
Well, even too, Landon's in 4th grade. Mm-hmm. And some of those 5th graders, dude, I'm like, what? How old are you?
Really? Oh, God, that's scary.
Well, see, and that scares me because I feel like with Landon, too, like when I see him, he's just like a little, like he's just a boy.
He's so tiny.
No, but like so even tiny. In his mannerisms, there's nothing. I think there's nothing wrong with kids being kids, and he's truly a kid. Yeah. And I love that about him, but it also scares me because there's other kids that go to those schools that, unfortunately, for whatever reason, they don't behave that way.
No. And like after working at the middle school for the past 4 years, some of the kids I thought I like trusted, like were good students and stuff, I was like, so is that a vape in your pocket? Like,
you're like, I know what that is, dude.
Like I don't stand next to you every day, and you think I'm not gonna tell? I'm just like, yo, no, because you do that on your own time at your parents' house. If your parents let you do that, you don't bring that to school.
And I don't think the parents are letting them do that. I think a lot of it
unaware.
They're unaware, like they're not there, and that's what we were telling Cameron. Like when you feel alone, you'll start to fall into the wrong crowd, and the wrong crowd can mean that you will change your life forever, or you could end your life.
Yeah, well, and that's where I joined clubs. So like I joined theater. I even did like in middle school. So I did theater, I did soccer, choir. Like I just kept myself so busy.
Well, we have to keep the kids busy. Yeah.
Yeah. And then that way I didn't have time for anything like that, if that makes sense. You know, that's why whenever my friends in middle school were like, oh, have you done, I'm like, what? I was like, what is that? Like, just because
I will say,
I was so busy that I didn't have, I also dressed like a dude. Okay.
Shut up.
For real, in middle school, I dressed in like white t-shirts and basketball shorts and stuff. I didn't start wearing makeup till my junior year of high school.
I was full face of makeup in like middle school.
Oh yeah, no. And I barely even now, girl. I just put a lot of mascara on. I'm like, I'm ready.
No,
like,
my grandma, she like, and that's what I'm saying. Like, I think parenting evolves, you know, as just time goes on because our kids are just exposed to more things. Like my mom's whole fight.
Well, now there's technology.
Right.
Like whenever we were growing up, if we wanted to find out what something was, we had to go to the library and like open a book.
Oh yeah. But I'm saying like my mom's biggest argument with my grandma when I was in middle school was the makeup. She was like, Elena, she can wear like mascara and lip gloss. And my grandma was like, no, all the girls are wearing makeup. I'm going to take her to the clinic counter and get her some light stuff. So she did. It wasn't anything like crazy. I was wearing like BB cream and like loose powder, which was.
What is that? I don't know what any of that stuff is.
Girl, bye. It's basically a lighter version of like makeup base and stuff.
Oh,
right?
Okay. I was like, this is also why it only takes me 10 minutes to get ready.
So like, but that was my mom's biggest fight. Whereas now with like the kids, I mean, like I said, Landon's in 4th grade, which means like 5th grade
school, full face.
Middle school.
I'm like,
yeah, it's more like so when I leave the neighborhood, like when I drop off Cam and I go straight to the office, I pass 2 other bus stops. I'm essentially behind his bus. His little friend waved at me the other day from the back. He was like, hey. I was like, hello. I see you. I'm watching you.
You speak to my son.
Yeah, but like there was like girls getting on there and they have to be in 7th or 8th grade. I would hope God not 6th. But they have like their midriff showing and like And look, I'm all for, I don't even have a daughter. So, I mean, there might be a mom on here who's like, I want my daughter to be able to, you know, live her truth or, you know, express herself. And I agree with that, but within reason, because she's still a child.
Yeah, to a certain extent.
To an
so,
extent.
like, my kiddos know that they have pure freedom of their hair, especially.
Yeah.
Like, not only their clothes, but their hair. But the clothes, if I don't buy it, how can they wear it? So it's all stuff that I approve, or like that my mom buys. That's definitely like dresses and stuff. My mom would never purchase anything.
I know.
Like
I've seen. She always gets like Harper the cutest, like matchy stuff. I love it.
Well, then Harper even the other day was like, "Mom, you know why I like being the only granddaughter of 6?" I was like, "Why?" She goes, "Because my stack of stuff when Nana goes to Kohl's is this big, and the boys is this.
There's so many of them."
I was like,
she was like, "One of you will get this shirt eventually down the road."
Yeah.
I don't need to buy 2 of them.
That's funny.
I know. But so, yeah, I mean, I think those are like, with going back to school this year is very different, you know, with Cam going to middle school. And I agree with you. I have to keep him busy. You know, he's still doing sports through the YMCA. I called our church the other day and left a voicemail. I need to follow up on that because they have a youth group there starting in 6th grade. And I was like, You'll be going to youth group. He was like, I will. And I said, every Wednesday night. That's what it says on the PowerPoint.
You're about to win your chastity belt, boy.
I'm like, you will be busy. And I know, look,
my God.
I'm not naive to that. He will still be exposed to stuff.
Oh, yeah.
He will
he'll
still
try to be a rebel sometimes.
Right.
Like today, he was a rebel choosing violence on a Monday.
But I truly believe that if we have the right communication, love, support, and, you know, guidance, that even in the worst of scenarios, if he gets himself into something, he'll come to me. Like that was me and Cayman's whole thing in that conversation. We're like, if someone approaches you and they're talking about a gang, because that does exist now. Mm-hmm. Like, oh, your parents don't love you, or ma'am, your mom's always bitching. Like we don't roll like that. They don't love you. And like, you could literally lose your life. Like, or if someone tries to give you drugs or like, whatever that we had Candid.
Even if they're like, oh, it's a little candy pill.
Right.
Like,
we're like, don't take it. Yeah, absolutely not. We had to have Candid conversation about
if you want candy, we can have some at home.
What acid looks like. We're like, it can look like a little thing to dissolve on your tongue. Like all the slang words. It was funny because like we were like, well, what drugs do you know of? And he just knew of weed. Like he knew what weed was, which I was like, whatever. Like, you know, and you're like, okay, I expect that. But he didn't know like anything else and came in.
Here's his friends talking about it.
Right. Yeah. And it's like legal in fucking a million states and shit. And it's always on the news and like, so
yeah.
I'm like, okay, that one. But like all the other stuff he didn't know. And Cayman's like, you know, you got the school buses, you got EXOs. I'm like, dude, don't give him the slang names. I'm like,
that's the shit that was made up back in the day. Yeah, like it's got actual names.
Like, stop talking. But we talked to him about, you know, sex. And then it's funny because the last conversation was like drinking and driving, going to parties. And I was like, you will earn your right to go to parties. And we want you to go to parties and experience that. Like me and Cayman were together in high school. So we went to parties together. We drank together and we did stupid stuff together. But I'm like, by no means will you get in a car and drive or get in a car where someone else is drunk and driving, because you could kill yourself, kill somebody else. Like,
or they kill you.
Call
like, me.
And that's what I told him. So I was like, call me. And so we were like, ask us some questions. And one of them was so sweet. He was like, well, what if like weird scenario, you don't answer, dad doesn't answer, grandma doesn't answer, Aunt Star doesn't answer. And we're like, okay, that's very rare. Like all of us are.
If we know you're out partying, we're going to be at a party next door.
Right. Well, I was like,
we will know.
One of us will pick up, right?
Yeah.
But in the rare case that someone was, I was like, Cam, you know you have adults in your life who love you, who would pick you up. And it was so sweet to me to hear him like list Courtney, list you, list my friend Miriam. He was like, I guess I could ask Miriam to pick me up, or maybe Courtney, or maybe Brittany, like getting all sad about it. And I'm like, it just warmed my heart though. Yeah. And he was like, right? And I was like, yeah. I said, baby, I know 100% those people pick you up. They would still tell me.
As I'm flying there, I'd be like, Eddie, why are you not answering?
Girl, you
answer. I'm on the way to get your son. We're grabbing pizza after. Do you want some? Whataburger, something.
What's going to soften the blow? Yeah. Like, so
the honey butter chicken biscuit for sure.
I see your littles and I'm just like, oh my God, I miss that. Because I can tell Camden is growing up.
Yeah.
But I'm sure there's a whole slew of things that come still with them being that little, especially because they went to a new school this year.
They did. My kiddo started a new school after being at the same school Landon was at the same school for 4 years, and Harper was the last 3 years because they didn't have pre-K there.
Oh, okay.
But so I know that my son's been having a little bit of trouble with his teachers, but it's also because he's trying to get back into like the school rhythm, and it takes him a while.
And he doesn't know anyone
he
there.
He doesn't know anybody besides
Courtney's kids
and his sister, but he doesn't really see them because they're on separate levels.
Okay.
And the 5th graders do all the stuff with the 2nd graders. So like Harper always gets to see Courtney's kids, but Landon doesn't because he does stuff with the 1st graders.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's weird to explain, but he's just like, I just feel so lonely, so I'm trying to make friends. So AKA he's being the class clown, which I already know he gets told that every year. Oh, he's such a clown. I'm like, I know. He gets it from his mother. I'm sorry about that. That's literally me.
You're like, he literally takes nothing serious, but he's also so smart.
He's very, very smart. So did you see those results that I had posted on Snapchat?
No, I didn't.
He took all of his those maps. What is those tests called? Is it maps testing?
Or is it STAR?
Here, let me see. It is MAP. And so on reading, writing, social study, whatever the other ones were, he did like at par. And then mathematics, it says,
oh shit,
that's Landon. It says Landon's overall score was 221. Your child is in the 95th percentile, which means they scored better than 95% of their peers.
Yeah, he's bored.
And that's what he tells his teacher. And his teacher emailed me back and she was like, he tells me it's because he's bored. I was like, well then, as his mother, please can you give him like work that's older than him, like 5th grade work, or if that takes up too much of your time, just give him more 4th grade work.
What about gifted and talented? Do they have it there?
Girl, they pull him in there every year, even though I tell them no. I'm like, no, because sometimes if you say yes, they make you come in after school, and I can't commit to like going back and forth, with already being busy.
Right.
And so I always say no, and then I get like an email that's like, your son made it into gifted and talented. I was like, as long as it's during the day. And so that's when they do it. They do it during the day.
Yeah, I was going to say Camden had the same thing, and they started doing it during the day, I think, because they had the same issue.
Yeah, I was like,
they tried to do it in the morning, like before school, and parents just couldn't keep up with it.
No.
Like dropping him off at 7 on the dot, I was like, I could do it because I would just drop him off and go straight to the office. But like, some parents just can't maintain. They got other kids. They got jobs that work different schedules. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So they started doing it during the day. But I was going to say that, and at least when he goes to middle school, he has advanced classes to look forward to.
Yes.
Because Camden didn't want to do advanced classes. And he's like, Mom, I'm so glad I did them. And I'm like, why? And he's like, because I feel like I'm learning. Because he was like that. Like his math teacher is the one who recommended him to advanced classes. He didn't want to do it.
Oh, Landon will definitely do advanced classes for sure. And
he won't.
But right now, elementary school is
peers.
boring.
Yeah.
And it's because I had him tested to go into a like a charter school thing.
Yeah.
And he tested at a 6th grade level.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, but my son is the same size as his newly 7-year-old sister, and he's 9.5. So there's no way I could just be like, okay, sure, be in 6th grade when he's supposed to be in 4th grade. You know what I'm saying? Like,
right.
To me, his like
mentality,
his common sense mentality is definitely not anywhere there yet because he's so small. He's still really young.
Right.
And I don't know. But my ex and I are still looking into that. Well, I am for him. And
like
to see
just extra stuff.
Yeah.
It's hard. I mean, I think it's hard when you have like in your case where Landon, physically is smaller, but like mentally, academically, he's way ahead of his peers.
Oh yeah. He talks about how he finishes the tests like 30 minutes before the other kids, so he gets bored sitting there. And I'm like, son, you also read chapter books like nobody's business.
Bro, you know what?
So why don't you read?
That was me growing up.
Yeah, and instead he's going to be like, Mom, I was just making stupid noises. I was like, I know, but that's why you get in trouble. Bored. Yes, but that's what he literally tells everybody. I'm like, just because you're bored doesn't mean you can't be crazy.
Yeah.
So
he's got the adjustment. To do. It's an adjustment.
Yeah, and Harper, that girl is literally a butterfly. She gets along anywhere in any setting.
Oh yeah,
so she has no complaints whatsoever.
She's naturally charismatic.
Yeah, for real.
Naturally charming. Like like the other day, whenever you and Brianna were filming, we were just sitting there having ice cream sundaes, talking about everything. I was like, it's nice to have a good conversation with somebody. And the boys upstairs are like, I'm like,
just being nuts.
Heathens.
they're not us. That's why they didn't have ice cream.
Yeah, like that's why. Yeah, they actually. Cam had a little bit. Like they didn't have a fancy. They didn't want it. I was like, Landon, do you want a banana split? He was like, do you have chips? And I was like, yes. He wanted chips.
Oh, I was like, and then, to put in the house?
No, he just wanted chips. Oh, and then Cam just wanted 2 scoops of ice cream. So there's me and Harper with our fancy banana splits. And they're just like snagging on chips, eating ice cream. Okay, can we go upstairs again? I'm like, okay. Yeah, like Harper too, like socially, she's very ahead.
She's only had a problem with 2 people before. And one was a teacher last year at her old school. And then this lady that came to one of Courtney's birthday parties. And she literally pulled me in the bathroom and was like, Mom, first off, do you see what that lady is wearing? That is not.
I love Harper.
She goes, that is not appropriate. Look how many children are here.
First of all, no.
That's what she pointed out first. She was like, Mom, did you see what she was wearing? I was just like, trust me, babe, we all did. It was like just a sports bra that was see-through and she had like tape around her nipples.
I'm going to throw up. At a kid's birthday party?
Girl, yes. Like we were at the house with lots of children, and so
where was I have a staring problem.
Well, our friend can't stand this girl to begin with, but so nobody is her fan, and then she comes like that, and then she has like on overalls, but just has one side done, and then so you can see her like thong thing underneath. Yes. Okay, so Harper's like, Mom, first off, do you see what she's wearing? I was like, yes, honey, we're about to leave. Like, don't worry about her. And then she's like, okay, well, I really don't like her. I was just like, why? What happened? And she's like, do you hear the way she talks and acts? And I'm just like, oh my God. I was like, she's like, are you going to have a burn book?
Socially over aware.
Yeah.
But I think that's all daughters. I couldn't do a daughter. I couldn't. Like, the way the girls are, I love them. I love them to death. They're so sweet. But then when they're mean, I'm like, ouch.
Yeah. Oh, they're mean.
That hurt my feelings.
I'm like,
I'm the fun Thea. I'm on your good side, right?
I know when Harper's like, I know you just, literally yesterday, Mom, I know you just sat down on the couch, but could you get up and make me a snack? And I was like, nope. And she was like, well, you had me, so sounds like I got to get fed. I'm your baby. I was like,
I'm dead.
That's literally how she acts. Like, or she'll do, which I noticed in my last relationship, that was my problem, is I'd be like, wow, that looks really good, instead of being like, oh, can I please have a bite? And so now freaking Harper does that, where she'll be like, wow, you have Coke Zero in there? That's probably really tasty. And I'm like, just say, can I please have a drink?
Like, can I have a drink of your Coke Zero?
Yeah.
Please?
Like, well, I want you to offer it to me so you don't say no. I'm like, no, just be direct. I was like, so my next relationship, remind me, bitch.
See, and Camden's overly direct.
I need to be direct. So is Landon.
Camden is overly direct.
But I kind of like that for our boys, though, because I feel like sometimes men are pushovers.
Yes, Camden, I want
them to be direct.
He's calm and level-headed.
Yeah.
I've, seen him in situations.
Oh, Landon is not. He will throw a punch so quick.
Camden will be calm and level-headed, but then he'll be so direct that, other kids, don't know what to do with it.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Oh, well, that's just like Harper when she told me that. She goes, Mom, this boy thought he was so cool today because in front of a group of friends, he told me a dad joke, and I was like, cool, I don't even have a dad, and I turned around and walked off.
Oh, my God. Well, see,
I think Harper,
there's times, too, where, even though, I'm worried about him being in middle school, because he'll tell me stories like that, too. Oh, yeah, this kid said this or did this, and I just walked away. Good. He's like, I'm not going to play into stupidity, Mom. He's Good. Like that. And I'm like, okay, but then it makes me proud. I'm like, okay, you know what? I think we'll make it for right now. Through the middle
I'm doing
school
something
years.
right for now.
Yes. Even too, when we went, his birthday was this past weekend. So we went yesterday to ZDT's because I have the membership. So it's $8 a month and it was a free bring a friend day. So his little friend Reese was free. And then he wanted to bring his friend Reese's brother Ryan. And so it's 20% off on any tickets. We have the membership. So it was like,
I was about to say, I forgot Landon has a membership there.
Girl, y'all should have met up with us. And we were trying to think, I didn't want anyone to spend a ton of money. I
got it so it's still good till January or February. Yes. The one that I bought. Yeah.
Exactly. So I was like, okay. But his friends were like, Cam, we were eating at McDonald's afterwards. They're like, what do you want for your birthday? I go, he don't need nothing. His friendship is all he needs. And then Camden goes, yeah, truly, it's a gift from God. And I was like, oh, my baby. But it's like Camden will show that he's ahead of his
so much because my son is not like
Oh,
that.
well, Jed is hell on wheels. But
you gotta have one of each, right?
You gotta have one of each.
Yeah.
But Cam, like every now and then when he says that kind of stuff, I'm like, all right, I think we can make it.
Yeah, good job.
I think we can do it.
You're like, pat myself on the back.
I'm like, high five.
Air five.
I'm like, hell yeah, parenting. So yeah, I think
it's the little wins, girl. The little wins. Everybody count those for sure.
There's some anxieties that go into anything like new schools. You know, there's some frustration starting
different levels or going
high
from
school. I'm not looking forward to high school.
Lord.
If y'all see me with grays in high school, like when he's in high school, just mind your business. I haven't had a gray hair yet.
Your hair's always done. You're not gonna have grays. It's always gonna get covered up. I have one that I found right here, but it's only about yay big, so it's new. I'm like, oh, that was from over the summer. The stress.
The stress. I found some in my eyebrows before, like as I'm plucking. I see it, girl. I'm gonna have to get it after.
You can't. If you pull a gray one, 3 come in its place.
I don't know about that because I pulled them from
my ex. Oh, because I was like, yo, let me get some. And then there was a bunch.
Oh, I don't know. Oh, Jonathan has a ton of gray hairs. He said he's had them since he was like a child, though. He's like, I think it's like hereditary or something.
My ex was born with the gray.
Really?
Like, or not born, like it over time, right there, the skunk thing, remember?
No.
Yeah, that's how it came. The hair.
That's how it came. Oh, God. No, if y'all, I have not
is what I meant.
Had a gray hair yet, but if I have gray hairs when he's in high school, just fucking please don't say anything. If you're like, hey, Eddie,
say everything.
I'd be like, don't. I already know.
Girl, box dye is $8. I'm just
well, my sister's a hairdresser, so I'll be like, fix it. I'll just be crying, knocking on her door at midnight. Look what the fuck I found. Because a your nephew, bitch, fits my hair. She'll be like, what?
Wait, when Cam is going into 8th grade, Landon will be going to 6th grade.
Yes. And Ryder will be in 7th.
And Bella will be in 7th
yep.
too.
They'll all be together. And then when Cam
cool.
is a junior, they'll be freshmen. And then Ryder and Bella will be sophomores.
Yep. Oh.
Okay, but that's also, guys, why I'm worried. As fun as it sounds.
Because we're wild, so
we all kind of did our stuff together at some point, and now our kids, and it's like, you know what, at least I thank God that our friendship is strong enough to where we're never going to be the moms, I hope, that are like, you're kibble bot. We all know how our own kids can be. And we're going to be like, all y'all are in trouble equally.
Yeah, we're for sure not one of those moms who are like, oh, my kid would never. I'm like, which one of mine was that? I know it was at least one.
You're like, Landon is definitely the brains of the fucking operation.
Oh, gosh, like, dude.
If anyone saw this tube fruition, it was him. Fruition, I mean, sorry.
I'm like, dude, when you get older, if you become a lawyer, because I'm definitely pressuring you to become a lawyer, I'm going to live with you. Because I feel like you owe me for all of this like stress. Hardcore, that you put me through.
I don't know. Camden, you know, he's got a couple ideas about what he wants to do, but more than anything, I think I'm just proud that Camden is like,
he's adjusting pretty well.
He's adjusting well. Like he
started sports back up at the same time.
Yeah,
basketball.
Like I said, he's always been. I always say this: whoever marries Camden, my oldest son, that she won the fucking lottery, because he's such a natural. Like, this goes here. Okay, check this box. Likes his schedule. Like, like, even when the kids are going upstairs, very soft-spoken. He goes, my room's not the best right now. Oh, like, that's just his person, and he's 11. Like, that's just his personality.
Because we were like, y'all are all gonna go play up in the room because we need silence downstairs. And he's like, well, my room is not the best.
Yeah, he's like, just preparing y'all. I'm like, this is.
And my kids were like,
and meanwhile, Jet just running around with a diaper.
Oh yeah.
I'm like, there's
balance,
right?
But we are going to film another episode in these same clothes.
Right, so don't judge us.
We will be on a cruise whenever one of them is going to hit. So that's why we need to film ahead of time. So don't judge us. Yeah, for sure.
So we'll see you here shortly.
Yes. Bye.